A particular song can blow you up for 5 years and pay your rent for 5 years.
Record labels hardly develop artists anymore.
People are their own labels now.
Some artists even use controversy as a branding tool.
For artists to make music today, artists need to now become content creators.
For the people who are in the DMs, sending DMs and trying to post Mya Blue.
The music industry has always been a dance between tradition and innovation. But in recent years, the rules have changed.
If we look at music from the 1960s, from 1960 to 1969, it had its own kind of concept. By the time we got into the 70s, there were a lot of changes in terms of the way music itself is being created. By the time we got into the 1980s, where there were more introductions into the music production itself and everything, compared to the last 10 years, there's been a lot of involvement.
Back in the days when you as an artist, you just say, oh, I've been signed by a record label, let me just sit down, they'll put all of the things together. Today, artists are required to really do a lot of work, because of the new technology. Now, how many times in modern times have you seen where a song blows up just on TikTok?
The principle has remained the same, it has not changed, but the methods or the strategies evolve. So if you understand what the principles are, it is easier for you to evolve with the time.
Record labels used to play a pivotal role. They were the backbone of many careers. They transformed potential artists into stars.
You need a record label to help you process your music, and then the record label decides whether it's good or not.
It used to be the aspiring artist, and you're lucky to get signed on by a record company and a label. And it's what the record company does with you or doesn't do with you that determines what becomes of you as an artist.
In the old days, the record label would go out and would develop artists, right? Record labels hardly develop artists anymore. You have to develop yourself and then get yourself known to a level where the record label will now engage you. In the old days, they might find you as an unknown talent and develop you through a process of A&R, songwriting, boot camps for recording, and then sending you out to perform in smaller venues and then bigger venues until you get to a level where you can lead.
The 1990s saw the exit of many multinational record companies from Nigeria, leaving a vacuum that local entrepreneurs and artists quickly filled.
Polygram decided to leave and then was bought over by Premier Music. EMI shut down and was bought over by Ivory. Sony also left. They all ran away because of level of piracy. At the time, piracy took over the entire market. As we are in my studio recording here, you'll be surprised they will release my job before me. It was that bad.
They claimed that was the problem of piracy. Yes, that was piracy.
That was why I said, okay, at the point, let me hang my guitar. Let's really fight this battle of the copywriting. So for like 14 years, there was a battle. I joined MCS 75.
Every day, every night, I just pray for sunshine.
The record companies those days were not doing good businesses that were favorable to us. They were not truthful to us. When you consider how much of a spread you had as a trending artist, you go to Sokoto, everybody rushes out and they are singing your songs. You go to Ekom, the next town before Cameroon, if people are singing your songs, you can't come and tell me, oh, we're not making sales. It's either you're deciding not to sell as much as you are supposed to, or you're selling and not accounting for the sales to the artist.
Today we are better for it. Today nobody can just pick your job and use it without due authorization. We still have workload to do in terms of people who use our works, like the broadcast media and the hotels. They are not adequately paying yet, But slowly we are going to that era because the new copyright law is clear that you're not only going to be sued, you will be criminally charged as well if you violate somebody's copyright.
The exodus of multinational record companies empowered local talents to forge their path, planting the early roots of what would become Afrobeat's global explosion.
You now had companies that were in the hands of those who were interested in just buying a recording studio but doesn't really know how to, how to work it out, until we also said, well, let us also start having our own private labels, so that, because the level of cheating was too much. It was like a master-slave relationship.
Gone are the days when record labels were the sole gatekeepers.
ICT and the internet space as kind of a digital age has deregulated that stronghold on what you might call the gatekeeping in the entertainment industry.
Some of us decide to start owning our own labels.
Now you don't need to take anything to any record label. Just go online. So that distribution that used to be a challenge, how to get the music to the buyers, has been solved.
People are their own labels now. Musicians who are doing real well have their own personal labels.
Distribution online, there are 1,001 platforms that will distribute for you. You just pay a token. Somebody will doing it for free. Your music will be on every shop, every app, Spotify, everywhere.
The music labels of the future are no longer about gatekeeping. They are becoming ecosystems, tech-driven hubs that provide services rather than dictate terms.
Stone Records promoted a lot of artists, activated over 250 artists. Many of the artists that people celebrate today were activated by us. We put them on television, we put them on radio, we put them around the world. But they were not our artists, they were not signed to us. Because our model and our focus was not just our artists, our model was Nigeria.
The future of record labels is not about control, it's about empowerment.
The record labels of the future has to understand that the future is about change, the future is about innovation, the future is about creativity, and you have to be ready to embrace that. You cannot run away from it, and any record label that is not ready to embrace technology, that label would actually have a problem.
Technology has shattered barriers. The music industry's next chapter is still being written. AI has come into the mix. The future is evolving fast. This is a new renaissance.
You cannot run away from it. Rather, look at how to utilize this AI. Look at how to take advantage of it to your own benefit.
Like I always give, the analogy I will always give is that, people who were making music in the 60s did not have the privilege of working with a digital audio workstation like we do today, where all these tones are generated from one software. People had to play every instrument. If they saw the way we're producing music today, I'm sure they would feel very similarly to how we feel about AI.
You can produce a whole length of song, a full length of song with vocals and everything by just giving a prompt to an AI machine to do that for you.
There are certain applications that I think that can drive and inspire creatives. It's easier to find melody ideas. It's easier to find, basic writing setups to work with. But just like everything else, there's a drawback. It's now down to us as people to decide what we want to do with it. Ultimately, it's a tool.
The way you hold my waist, I like as they go.
Among the trailblazers stands Mya Blue, Africa's first AI-powered Afrobeat sensation.
There was a song called God Whispers, Part 2. There was 2 versions of it. And it features this female voice, which was not human, which most people didn't even realize at the time. But when we were going to distribute the music, we had to write something because it seems like there's a guest artist on the song. So we named the person Mya Blue.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Mya Blue, your favorite AI singer.
And Mya Blue went on to have sort of like a life of her own. We put out a few more content, set up an Instagram page. More people follow the artist now. So she's essentially a virtual artist that can make music. Literally, their handle is myablue.ai. It's there in the bio. It says it. I'm an AI generated artist. But there are people who are in the DMs, sending DMs and trying to toast Mya Blue.
Mya Blue is no ordinary artist. She redefines what it means to create soulful, emotive music in a technologically driven age.
Initially, people would say, oh, if you hear it, you just know it's AI. It doesn't sound like human content. That's starting to change. There's some songs that you can hear that are unarguably indistinguishable from, human creation.
Yesterday I asked my mama, Mama, could you tell me the road from here I could take? She said, Lele, 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 oh, Lele, oh, Lele, Leke Nemo, Sachi Mae.
Her collaboration with the legendary late Sir Victor Uwaifo on a remix of the timeless hit Joromi was nothing short of groundbreaking.
We partnered with an AI producer known as Eclipse Nkasi. So we collaborated with Eclipse and remixed Joromi featuring Mya Blue, who is an AI artist. So you have a Victor Uwaifo who is late playing his music, and then you have an artist that is not real featured in that music.
So I tried to test out writing songs using tools like ChatGPT, trying to find other AI tools that could make instrumentals, see if they were coherent enough, see if I could make listenable songs with them. In some instances, I tried to modify it, and I think a lot of it too had to do with trying out some of these AI tools that existed. It was very hard to have proper voice synthesis, so which was getting the AI to sing. And that was one of the first things that we were finally able to pull off that people were really excited about.
I will rise like the sun in the night. Unexpected, unforeseen, I will survive.
The project allowed us make some interesting music, try out some interesting tools, but most of all, it helped us really see how people felt about AI. Both the good, the bad, and everything else in between.
Technology has also transformed how music is created, distributed, and consumed.
It's also important that to become relevant in today's times, you must learn how to use that technology. If you have the experience of doing it manually and you add the advantage of using digital technology, then the sky is your limit.
Gone are the days when it's all about record sales and how many vinyl did you sell, how many tape did you sell, or how many CDs did you sell. It's all about download.
Today, we're no longer talking about physical CDs. We're no longer talking about physical stores for distribution. In the 90s, in the 80s or in the 90s, for you to release an artist, you have to do now in stores. That's why you take the artist, or you take a bus with speakers, go to Alaba or go to Mission Road, the Benin City, go to where the market is, and you do a blast. The artist may even perform to announce the release.
Streaming platforms reshaped the landscape, allowing artists to reach a global audience with a single upload. Each play generates income, and the potential is vast.
And anywhere your music travels to, if you've done the needful, proper registration, proper protection of your rights, your money and your earnings will find you.
Right now, if you have a million streams on Apple Music, that's like $5,000. And the funny thing about music is it doesn't stop. People don't stop listening to your song today. A particular song can blow you up for 5 years and pay your rent for 5 years.
Can you imagine if you have an artist who is doing over 10 million streams in one song in the internet? That's a whole lot of money. If you have 3, that's a whole lot of money. But you need to spend heavily to make the difference. It's about packaging, you know. So our packaging and quality, and then marketing.
It's easy for you to have a million streams and then you get ripped off your million streams if you don't have a proper business idea or business sense.
An artist in a small town can find fans across continents. In 2024, the projected revenue in the music streaming market in Africa was $410.7 million US. It is anticipated to show an annual growth rate of 7.71% to hit a projected market volume of $513.2 million US by 2027.
That's why it's called show business, for crying out loud. There's the show, you do the show, but the business part is the most important. Man must work.
And a lot of artists just drop songs. They don't have distributors that actually monitor most of these other distribution style that songs go through. Some people have their songs on YouTube, they don't even know. And they're making money with those songs and they are not being remitted to the artist.
But now, we also have the problem of the digital distribution as becoming a headache for us too, because you have high level of piracy in digital. Once you click send and it's out there, anybody can have it and use it if it's not well protected.
The digital age reshaped the battlefield. Social media bypasses gatekeepers, connecting artists and fans directly. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram and TikTok empower today's stars to build bridges, one story, one post, and one song at a time.
Any video you make with your phone, with your camera, on the go, in the car, you might just make a video sitting down and you might not know, just post it. It can actually be a video that will go viral.
As an artist that you want to become relevant today, your office right now is your Facebook page, it's your Instagram account, it's your TikTok account. Your platform is there.
The internet has come to override a lot of obstacles. Now on the internet, in 1 minute or 1 second, your job is all over the world. So it's like magic, because if we had the internet nowadays, man, I wonder what we would have been like.
Even when you know your work, they will not believe. Them go push you to the side, make you no retreat. Some people go think say you no go reach.
Prior to social media, the cost of activating an artist worldwide is enormous. As social media came, social media democratized access, giving us data, insights, and heat maps that we can see where our people are, what they're doing, who's liking them. And that information enables you to determine your next phase of investment, either for the label or for the management or for the artists themselves.
An unknown artist can go viral overnight. A catchy song, a creative video, or even a single authentic post can spark a global phenomenon.
Like TikTok will just randomly bring this sound and I'll be like, wait, who sang that song? Like I have to go and get that song right now. Like, so like it has helped in promotion, I think.
So an artist in Uyo can make a record. He knows nobody in the radio station, doesn't have a record company, has no label support, and he uploads it on his TikTok account or Instagram account, and it takes just a freak occurrence. It's getting into a space where he wasn't meant to be.
Back in the days, it used to be accessing this content used to be very, very, very tedious for us. But right now, it's at your fingertips. You can be on your bed and you just receive an alert. Someone just dropped their platinum. Someone just dropped their album.
It is not a perfect situation yet, but the barriers are lower. Artists today are rewriting the rules, crafting careers that reflect their values and visions.
The barrier to entry is a lot lower, so more and more music is becoming something that doesn't require such special skills to participate in.
You ain't never gonna take my life. You ain't never gonna stop my shine. You ain't never gonna fool me twice. On God, I am not that nice. You ain't never gonna steal my thunder. You ain't never gonna stop my cruise. Real talk, homie, that's on God. Nah, bro, that's on Zeus.
Once the barrier to entry is this low and so many people are able to make good music, I don't think it will also be as exciting for the audience as it was once.
Despite the low barrier, the struggle persists. In a sea of voices, being seen, being heard is a challenge that demands relentless creativity and innovation.
The biggest challenge is getting people to listen to your sound, to be honest, because there are a lot of people that are making music at the same time.
For the audience, they are so distracted anyway because there are about maybe 100 or a couple of hundreds of songs coming out within a season.
The Renaissance has set the stage for countless innovations. Artists now invite their listeners into their world, offering exclusive content, early releases and personalized experiences in exchange for financial backing.
Before I put out my previous album called Gravity, I sat in my home. I wasn't even done with the album yet, and I said, I'm really less busy. It was like September, and I went on Tix Africa and I created a link for an event and said, hey, I'm doing a private listening for the unfinished album that's not coming out till next year. And I sold tickets for it. People bought the ticket and showed up to get a chance to hear what I'm working on before it comes out.
Live performances remain a cornerstone of the industry. But even here, innovation thrives.
Honestly, there was no point with an artist that the audience for which you are taking the artist to are not interested. So you do a survey. Even in Lagos, Agege might prefer a Zazu, VI might prefer a Burna Boy, Ajegunle might prefer a Kiss Daniel, Badagry might prefer even an artist from Benin Republic. So culture plays a major role. The social standing and exposure level of the audience in that territory also play a crucial role.
No innovation matches the thrill of live performance. Yet, 40 years test resilience, reminding us why live shows remain unfiltered and alive with endless possibilities.
Of course, if they can play well, that's one good thing. That's on one side. Then on the other hand, the instruments, equipment, whatever they're using should be up to par as well, should be up to speed. If not, it can draw them back. It can create a lot of, might not be able to express the way they want to. If they have an instrument that is lacking in capacity or whatever, they won't be able to express themselves the way they want to.
With great opportunity comes great complexity. The modern artist is no longer just a musician. They are a brand.
It's not enough to just release the music. You just drop it online for people to just hear. You have to have the visual elements to generate people's interest. A lot of visuals that comes into play.
For artists to make music today, artists need to now become content creators.
If you're a superstar, we don't see much of you. We only get to hear from you once in a while if you are maybe taking an award or something. As an artist today, you have more work to do because you are forever in front of that camera, sharing more about yourself.
Some artists even use controversy as a branding tool. They are always in the news for controversial reasons. And then you see their followership grows and the interest in what they are doing grows. Sometimes it's not even the quality of the art, it's the imagery of the branding that makes people value the art.
Portable 2 has been blowing up, whether you like his music or not. The gentleman has done a phenomenal job of keeping our attention to him. You may not even agree with what he's doing, but he's done things that we can't stop looking at him and watching him.
Fundamentally, one thing remains unchanged. Music is about connection. Whether through compact discs, vinyl records, or viral posts, sold at arenas or virtual stages, the power of music lies in its ability to bring people together.
We're everywhere, in every town, in every city. There's some Nigerian guys holding it down. There are Nigerian promoters all over the world, from South Africa, from America, from Switzerland, from France, the UK. Anywhere you go, there's some Nigerian guy. It's either a DJ or a hustler or a bouncer or promoter who is just pushing the agenda. And that's really how it came through. So then we had people who are local in 200 countries pushing our sound, right? And that's something that you can't buy. You couldn't legislate for it.
The Renaissance is here. The tools are abundant and the possibilities are infinite.
In the 80s, the live band or the beer parlor and wine joint used to influence how music was made. In the 90s, it was the radio stations that influenced how music was made and delivered and distributed. Now it's social media.
In 20 years' time, there could be 100 Nigerian artists that are global touring stars. Because, you know, apart from the Nigerian artists from here, you know, we've got global Nigerians from everywhere. And those guys are in Canada, they're in Sweden, they're in France, they're everywhere, in America, doing all kinds of things.
For those bold enough to embrace the change, the future of music belongs to them.